Hey, and welcome to Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode. Hey, and welcome back to the Turo Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Turo Virta, and today's episode is one that might actually surprise you, because we are diving into a concept that goes completely against what most diet culture has taught us, and it's reverse dieting, or in simple terms, eating more to feel better, look better, and even lose fat. Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because if you have been dieting forever, stuck in a plateau, feeling low on energy, or scared of increasing your calories, this might just be most important mindset shift you need. So let's get into it. So what is actually reverse dieting? So reverse dieting is a strategic gradual increase in calories after a period of restriction or chronic dieting. So this is often a way what I have been using for several of my clients, and especially those who have been dieting for several, usually years or even decades, and or at least several months. And it's that reverse dieting. It's designed to help your metabolism recover, your hormones rebalance, and your body feel safe again. Think of it like this: that you have been driving with the gas tank almost empty for months, maybe even years. And reverse dieting is how you slowly refill that tank so your body can run better, burn better, and feel stronger. Because your body is adapting in the long term to calorie restriction, and why this then actually matters, especially if you are over 35. Because here is the thing: especially for women in their 30s, 40s, and beyond, your body is smart. So if you have been undereating for a long time, your body doesn't just keep burning fat endlessly. It actually slows things down. You feel tired, your workouts stop working, hunger cues get weird, and weight loss stalls, or even worse, you gain fat eating very little. This isn't a failure, it's adaptive thermogenesis. Your body is adapting to less food. And by eating more strategically is sometimes the exact thing you need to unlock fat loss again. So this is it's very hard to understand, because the metabolic adaptation, it's a real thing, and it might be not as big as you think. Because first of all, there is, if you have ever heard of some like a starvation mode, that is not a real thing, but metabolic adaptation is. And those are a little bit different things. So, because if you think starvation mode, like if you think that those people who are really starving, like that they don't have access to foods, they are not. I don't know anyone who is actually overweight, who is actually starving. But that metabolic adaptation, which means that our bodies are very good at adapting. So think it other examples, like for example, strength training. So if you are strength training, your body is adapting for new thing what your body is doing more often. So if you are strength training, you send signals to your body that you need to. There is every week you have to lift some weights. So your body is thinking that, oh, what I there is all the time I have to do repeat the same movement. It is heavy. It is there is every time a bit more resistance, a bit more weight coming. So how your body is adapting, responding, you are sending signals that you need to become stronger because this is a movement what you need to be doing, and you do it consistently. And it's the same thing with lack of strength training. So if you don't do something, your body thinks that, okay, it's those muscles, they are unuseful. I don't need them. And if you don't do it, you start to lose it because your body is adapting. And it's the same thing with the food. So if you are consistently getting too less energy, your body is adapting. Okay, this is all what I get. There is not coming more. So then you need to start to shutting down things like what I don't need. Your energy levels usually are getting lower because you don't have enough energy to move. Your workouts are not going to work because you don't have enough energy to work out. And what are then signs? Like most often, this is very hard question to ask. That what are signs that you might need a reverse dieting? Because if you have seen at least some of these, then you should at least consider it. So you might. So these are kind of red flags, and what you are actually what you would probably should consider that reverse dieting. So if you have been eating very little, most likely under 1,600 calories or even below that 1,200, 1,004, depending obviously what your calorie maintenance should be. Like you can use calorie calculators, what you find in internet, or you can check to my calorie calculator what your maintenance calories should be. And if you have been eating below that for several months and still you are not seeing fat loss progress, if that is your goal, that is a sign that you probably need start reverse dieting. So the second sign is that you are gaining weight or you can't lose it even though you eat clean or very healthy. So this is often sign what I hear, that I'm eating very healthy, I eat clean, but I can't lose weight. So this is sign number 2. Sign number 3 is that your energy is low. You are having cold, or your let's say often it's those like your fingers, your toes, all like outside of organs. Because what happens is that your body, if you have been consistently under eating, your body starts to protect the most important part to keep you alive, and it's those in your chest area, in your belly area, those organs. And like your heart, your liver, all stuff what is close to your chest area, and then all kind of outside of that. Further you go from that area, like your fingers, your toes, that is like that. Your body is always kind of shutting those down, and you start to feel that you have a cold fingers, you have a cold toes. Or you might be moody, or you are losing muscle. So those are all signs that you should consider what you are actually doing. Sign number 4 is that your sleep is poor and your workouts feel harder than they should. So often sleep is the first one what is suffering. So you are not able to recover well. You are obviously, for sleep there is there could be some other reasons also why your sleep is bad, like stress, and or stress is probably the most common one, or eating times, harder workouts, late at night, alcohol consumption. But if you don't recognize any of those and sleep is still poor, the reason might be actually that you are eating too little. And sign number 5 is that you are scared to eat more because you think you will gain weight instantly. So if this sounds familiar, then reverse dieting might be your missing puzzle piece. So how then that reverse dieting is actually working? So I'm going through step-by-step guide. So how do you actually do it? So here is my basic framework. So step number 1 is to track your current intake. So find out how much you are actually eating, because most people, they are underestimating it. So you are underestimating. You think that, I'm eating 1,800 calories, but it might be 2,300, because it's very easy to underestimate. If you are tracking, most common calorie tracking mistakes are that you are not tracking your snacks. If you are cooking for your family, you are tasting something, you forget to add those all sauces. If you are cooking your meat in oil, you don't track your cooking oils, sauces. If you put if you put some cheese over your pasta, you forgot to track that cheese, what is on top of it. All these kind of small things, it's obviously in one time, they don't make that huge difference, but for sure in a long term, let's say that in a day you eat 3 to 5 meals, and every meal is you are underestimating it with 50 to 100 calories. So it's 3 to 500 calories less. What you are all mistake is 3 to 500 calories. So there is a big difference to actually track everything, how much you are actually eating, and then to know actually what you are eating. And if you are recognizing that, okay, now this is not enough, what I'm eating, it's way too little, then it's a sign that you should start eating more if that amount is too little. So, and like I said, the first step is to know what your maintenance calories should be. So use calorie calculator. I will put link to my calorie calculator in the show notes, so you can check that out. So it gives you your protein goal and also your amount of calories. But feel free to use any other calorie calculator you find in internet too. My one, there are several of them. Some of them are good. I think my calorie calculator is pretty accurate, what it should be. Obviously, it's not 100%, as all calculators you find online. They are as good as information you give them, and they are only estimates. But the best way to know is to actually track your calorie intake for at least for a week, ideally for at least for 2 weeks. And then you see on average how many calories you are taking in. And then if you are not seeing any progress, then it's time for step 2. And that is then starting small and increasing your calorie intake. Usually it depends on how low you are, how much your maintenance calories should be. But I would say that it's around 100 calories per week. In some cases, it's 50 calories is enough. Some cases you might go up to 200 calories, but usually, let's say 150 calories per day. And that every single day or per week. So we are talking about 700,000 calories per week more. So it's not, think it this way, because most people are scared that if I start to eat more, I will gain immediately weight. What usually actually might even happen, because the reason why you are gaining more weight is that you have more food in your stomach, you have more, maybe you add some carbs or something, which are storing more water in your body. And you will see that scale in the beginning might go even up, and that is the biggest mistake, is that at that point, most of the people who don't know, who don't trust the process, are panicking and thinking that no, I can't eat more, but because I'm gaining immediately weight, I'm getting fat, and that is the reason then they go back to lower calories again, and that's the reason that you never give yourself actually a chance that it would work. So it is that if you think it, what is the worst way, what could happen? Like, let's say that kilo of fat is around 7,000 calories. So half kilo, 1 pound is around 3,500 calories. And now we are talking increasing your calories 100, 150 per week. So in the worst case, let's say that you don't know your maintenance. You eat for, let's say, for a month, 100 calories more per day. And so you are eating around 3,000 calories more in a month. So even in a case that you would be in a maintenance and you would go in a calorie surplus, you maximum fat gain would be less than a pound, less than a half kilo in a month. And if you, at the same time, if you do some resistance training, you most likely some of those calories are from protein. So that is not what is going to happen. So there is even your scale might go up, and usually it goes up in the beginning. It's not going to be fat, and you shouldn't be scared of gaining fat, because the magic actually starts to happen when you start to trusting the process. And then step number 3, that it doesn't mean that those 150 calories what you are going to add are going to be just some whatever food. Ideally, you are prioritizing your protein and whole foods, so you keep your meal still balanced, and it's just giving your body more fuel, more things, more nutrients to actually start balancing your protein, start that adaptation in other way. And step number 4 is to monitoring your body, and seeing, not focusing only on the scale, but focusing more on your energy levels, your mood, your digestion, and how you are performing in your workouts. And then step number 5 is staying consistent. Give it time. So most people do reverse dieting for 6 to 12 weeks, and sometimes even longer. So, because this isn't free for all, it's all structured. And usually, like that, how the plan is going, it's going to be like depending on situation. I tell you example from Sylvia. You can listen Sylvia's episode, how she did it and what she did. It's in my podcast. And if you don't know, just DM me in my, if you can find it in my Fit Me to a Fitness podcast, just send me a DM in my Instagram, personal trainer Turo, and I will DM you the link of episode with Sylvia, where you can listen that episode when Sylvia is telling her own words. But usually how that procedure is working. So let's say that we decided that you are going to increase 100 calories per week, because for example, Sylvia's example was that she was eating 1,002, maybe 1,004 in a day. And her maintenance calories should be over 2,000 with her very active lifestyle. So how we cut it up? So we started to add 150 calories per week, and we raised those calories because her maintenance calories, or what she was actually eating, were so little, and there was cap was almost 1,000 calories. So we started adding 150 calories per week, or even 200. And we moved every week. First week, 100 calories or 200 calories more. Week after that, add another 100 or 150, 200, whatever the number is. And then week after that, another add, week by week. So every week, adding more calories up to a point that you start to get closer to your maintenance, because we really can't know what is your maintenance. Even calorie calculator is telling that your maintenance is, but once you are measuring all your you are taking pictures, you are taking average weight per week, you are also tracking your measurements, belly measurements, everything. And what happened to, for example, to Sylvia, initially she gained a little bit scale weight, but then all of a sudden the weirdest thing happened. She started to lose weight while eating more. So after that initial weight gain, she started actually losing weight. And during this process, when we raised her calories from 1,200 to over 2,000, she lost 3 to 4 kilos of weight. Her energy levels, you can imagine how much how much her energy levels were getting better, how much more effective workouts became. Her pinching, she used to pinch regularly, and pinching they reduced drastically. So, and during this process, it's like in her words, she said that it's incredible feeling, unbelievable feeling when you are actually starting to lose weight while eating more. And it doesn't mean like that. Okay, she said that she was eating 1,200. Honest truth is that most of the days she probably did, but then regular pinches during the week, or 3 4 times pinch eating during the week, that actually she was eating more, but it felt every time so hard. Every time when she was pinching, she said, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be better. Maybe next day she was better. Day after, another pinch. And that kind of cycle, feeling guilt and shame, and not being able to, you think, what is wrong with me? I just need more willpower. When the honest truth was to actually just starting to trust the process, eating more, and seeing what happens. And once she started to do it, those pinches drastically decreased, and magic things started to happen. So what could happen then if you do it right? So like in this Sylvia's example, so she was able to eat almost 1,000 calories more. She was lifting heavier than ever. She was sleeping better. And yes, she lost that 3 4 kilos weight while actually adding calories. Her body finally started to feel safe. Her hormones start to regulate, and she stopped fearing food. So that reverse dieting, because the reverse dieting is teaching your body that it's okay to burn fuel again, because you are finally giving it enough to work with. And that is the key examples, and how to actually, what could actually happen when you are actually doing it. And what are then the most common fears and mindset shifts is that that you are scared, so scared of gaining weight again. And it is true. You will, and in most cases, you will gain in the beginning, but it's often going to be minimal and temporary. And often it's not going to be fat. It's just due that you are eating actually more. Your body stores temporarily more water. And if you trust the process, keep doing it, you are going to see that it's going to help in the long term. And in the worst possible case, you can always go back lowering. And it's that, if you know, because it's a strategic calorie increase. So it doesn't mean that you can eat whatever you want, as much as you want. You are still tracking your food. It's you know exactly what you are doing. You are adding calories step by step. And if measurements, if all the ways how we are measuring your progress, if all those things are showing that now you are actually in your maintenance, you are eating too much, then you can always move to other direction. So it's a long term. Think it's a long term game. it's not a short-term gain, it's a long-term gain. So it's restoring your metabolism, so fat loss is actually possible again. Because if you think what were her options, if you are in situation like Sylvia was eating 1,002, 1,300 calories, and that was her new maintenance. So what would be from that position? You had two options, and the other one is to eat less and or move more. But then energy levels, they were already very low, and hunger levels, they were low, or she was all the time hungry, and that several binge attacks just confirmed it. So it was not a realistic option to actually start moving more or eating less. So because then it's that going to other direction, and that is the scariest thing. So when you start to focusing in your mindset, just getting stronger on your strength levels, your energy levels, and having that food freedom, because food freedom means that you can actually eat what you want, but if you know what actually does good for your body. And it doesn't mean like in Sylvia, it's now a couple of years ago, and now she's training and feeling, never have that kind of scary mindset anymore, and she knows what she's doing, and it's such an incredible change. So what is then those just few takeaways and few final thoughts. So reverse dieting is not weight gain dieting. It's tool for recovery, energy, and metabolic health. It's not about being perfect. It's all about being consistent. So you need to rebuild trust with your body after years of dieting. This one way to do it. This is one way to do it. And if this feels scary, I get it. But the question is, what is scarier? Continuing to feel exhausted and stuck, or taking one small step toward feeling strong again? So if this episode resonates with you, take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at personaltrainer_Turo. And if you're thinking, I might need help with this, head to my website, personaltrainer.turo.com, coaching/coaching, and explore how we can work together. Thanks for listening to the Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast. And remember, fueling your body is not giving up. It's showing up for yourself in the most powerful way. Talk soon, and thank you for listening.
Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.